Welcome again. In this episode you will see the building of the strongback for the second hull, building the main deck beams, and the building of the second hull from start to finish, and more. Enjoy. If you like it, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and hit the notification bell in order to get informed when new content is uploaded. Before I start to build the hull number 2, I need to build the strongback to build it on. Having done the first strongback entirely with common lumber, and considering the time-consuming process, as well as the immense increase in lumber price at the time, I came to the conclusion that it would be beneficial to change to a different system, which had the additional benefit to be easily adjusted in height, in order to level it to strongback number 1. For this reason, I bought height-adjustable jack posts, and made support bridges to serve as base for the strongback. Since I learned from building the first hull, that building the different needed parts section by section was time-consuming, because of the constantly changing work setups. For the second hull I prepared all the parts needing the same setup at once, but therefore I needed to create storage space/racks, where I could store all the finished parts until needed. I started to make the biggest parts, the 4 feet by 8 feet planking first, by applying 2 to 3 coats of epoxy first, to saturate the marine plywood before applying to the future inside 1708 biaxial fabric, and to the future outside 6-ounce S-glass cloth, as basis for the different layers of fiberglass and carbon fiber fabrics, which will be applied in seamless manner at a later stage in the build process. Finished panels stored. Now the largest planking panels of all, for the 15 feet long bow section, are made and glassed the same way as the regular 8 feet panels, and it's getting heavy. And again, bending the bow panels, now for the second hull. All the parts for framework are cut and coated with epoxy to speed up the assemblies. Since I have the long area of the second strongback available now, I decided to use it temporarily as assembly and storage table for the large parts, so I can use the regular assembly table for prep work and small part assembly. Starting with the longest parts, the cross beams which serve to connect the catamaran hulls and form the basis for the main deck. These beams will be stored on a special rack alongside hull number 2 until being used. And here the frames and bulkheads for the hull. Now that all of the parts to assemble the second hull are made and ready, it's time to begin assembling them on the strongback, using the exact distance taken from the hull number 1 with special made distance templates. The second hull assembly with this method proceeds about 40% faster than the building of the first hull. Live and learn. A note going back in time. Because of the looming material shortage, supply chain interruptions and the rampant price increases during the height of the pandemic, we decided to buy most of the materials and equipment we would need to finish the project in advance. Honeycomb sheets for planking, Lexan for fenestration, electrical equipment like solar panels, split-phase inverter/charger, waterproof lithium iron phosphate batteries for our battery bank, the electric pod drives for propulsion, complete with dual remote Controls, mini split AC units for air-conditioned spaces, copper coat coating material to protect the underwater surfaces, top coat for all surfaces above the water line, and more. All of the above-mentioned materials have been delivered, and are stored securely, until they will be needed in the process. Episode 6 will show the test run of the vacuum infusion process, building a tarp-covered shed over the hull number 1, as well as the application of the various seamless layers of fiberglass and carbon fiber fabrics, application of peel ply, flow media, vacuum lines and epoxy resin feeder lines, vacuum bagging material, connection to the vacuum pump and resin trap, and a lot more.